Moonletter, Astrological Podcast.
Asbolus and Alternative Realities by Ben Belinsky. Maybe there is a past where dragons exist. Maybe in a parallel world Atlantis is real. Maybe there is a reality where humans can understand the language of animals and talk to them. Or a past where miracles really did happen. Maybe somewhere in the multiverse there is a version of Earth where Christ didn't die on the cross, but lived out the rest of his days in India. Maybe as well as probable pasts and futures, there are also probable realities, co-present and coexistent with our own. For many of us, it is through dreams that we can become aware of these realities. For while the conscious mind is resting, there is a chance for our unconscious to access these worlds. Often they come to us as symbols to be interpreted. For those of us with the centaur Asbolus configured in our birth charts, we may have the ability to recognize the symbols for what they are, omens, medicine signs, to read them and interpret them, even to interpret reality as if it were a dream. In many cultures, these symbols have become a language of augury, something that can be accessed in waking hours by certain individuals through divinatory systems such as tarot, runes, geomancy, or numerology, granting the ability to divine probable outcomes, the available futures. You'll find Asbolus in the charts of those who create alternative realities, writers of fantasy and science fiction, such as Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, H.G. Wells, the author of The Time Machine, Jorge Luis Borges, whose short stories take us into strange realities where, for example, a lottery runs everyone's lives, and Ursula Le Guin, a consummate world-builder whose Earthsea books transport us to another totally consistent and credible reality. Asbolus is also prominent in the charts of surrealist painters such as Salvador Dali and Frida Kahlo, celebrities who have become archetypes such as Marilyn Monroe, Lou Reed and Paul McCartney, as well as in the charts of filmmakers from Hitchcock, Pasolini and Stanley Kubrick to Spielberg and Christopher Nolan. He is also there in the charts of philosophers, from the Marquis de Sade to Nietzsche and Michel Foucault, those who interpret our reality to bring out its strangeness and hidden mythologies. And of course in the charts of quantum physicists, the explorers of the alternative realities at the subatomic level, where probability rules, and where a particle may exist in two or more different states at the same time. Famous physicists like Einstein and Max Planck, others like Schrödinger, best known for his thought experiment with the cat, and theorists of the multiverse. All these folk deal with probability and alternative realities in one way or another, and many of them have the centaur Asbolus configured in their chart. In Greek mythology, Asbolus was a centaur, half man, half horse, who lived with a herd or tribe of centaurs in the region of Mount Pelion in the north of Greece. What marks Asbolus out from among the rest of his tribe was his ability as a seer. He was known for reading the flights and movements of birds as omens, symbolic pointers to probable futures. We can see this in the reference to him in Ovid's Metamorphoses, in the battle between the centaurs and a legendary people known as the Lapiths. Pirithous, king of the Lapiths, had invited the centaurs to his wedding, obviously unaware that a drunken centaur was pretty much guaranteed to misbehave. Asbolus foresaw that there would be big trouble, and tried to persuade the centaurs not to go. But the inevitable happened when a drunken centaur abducted and tried to rape the bride, leading to the aforementioned battle. During the fracas, the centaur, Nessus, fearful of being wounded, ran away, whereupon Asbolus told him, "Do not flee, you are fated to be preserved for Hercules' bow." In other words, telling Nessus that there was no need for him to run away, as he was preordained by fate to die at a later date by one of Hercules' arrows. Asbolus is also mentioned in the story of the centaur Pholus, when Hercules, as a guest of Pholus, opens a flask of wine that had been gifted to the centaurs by the god Dionysus. Asbolus is said to have led the stampede of centaurs intoxicated by the powerful fumes of the wine. Hercules defended himself by firing off a volley of poisoned arrows. The riot led to the death of Pholus and the fatal wounding of the immortal Chiron, while Asbolus is said to have been crucified by Hercules' arrows. In our solar system, Asbolus, discovered in 1995, orbiting between Jupiter and Neptune, and symbolically carrying Jupiter's breadth of vision and Neptune's ability to dissolve boundaries. Its elliptical orbit of just over 76 years takes it above and below the plane of the ecliptic, where Earth and the other planets lie. Asbolus grants us the eyes to recognize the symbols for what they are, and the wit to understand them. With Asbolus configured to the sun or moon or one of the interpersonal planets in your birth chart, you may be able to catch glimpses of probable futures that might or might not happen, but which can exist in their probability. It might give you an interest in fantasy, science fiction, or surrealist art, an interest in the development of quantum mechanics, or a connection with archetypal reality. To find out more about this fascinating solar system body and its astrological influence, check out the e-book Asbolus and Alternative Realities by Ben Belinsky, available from Amazon.
And for more astrological and spiritual musings, check out moonletter.co.uk.